on my computer. Yeah.
All right, so we just all have to agree. Yep.
Yeah. Please don't leave. Don't disagree.
Right. I love how this works. Like leave or agree.
Yeah. Oh, and Abby's here. That's great. And Chris. And thank you for all of you who've turned on your cameras.
All right. Should we wait one more minute?
You're the boss, Beata. It's such a nice feeling when Dr. Flager organizes something and nobody has to worry. It just runs greased wheels. I know.
Nope. I'm about to hand this over. All right.
Okay, should I start, Beata?
Yep.
Okay, well, guys, I want to start off by saying I hope this is the last Zoom banquet of my life. Now, as long as I live, I hope I never have to do a Zoom graduation or banquet, that we can be in person, we can shake hands, we can give hugs, we can cheer each other on, and technology is great, except it's not that great. Not that I'm not grateful. It allowed us to have some kind of an educational experience for you, right? The technology, it didn't grind to a halt. For that, I'm very grateful, but I know we can do so much better in person. But I just want to tell you, last year when we had the banquet, I was very afraid. I didn't know much about COVID. I didn't know much about the mitigation efforts. The science was very unclear. I was worried, where were we heading? Epidemiologists were coming up with these scary scenarios, right? Tens of millions of people dead. Well, we know we've lost a lot of people, but not that many. Touch wood. We don't know what's going to happen. We know the vaccination has been a terrific success. It's working even against the Indian variety, which is just decimating India as we speak. It's working in this country, even though the Indian variety has cropped up here. For that, I am truly, truly thankful. And I just want to tell this graduating class, you guys are making history, right? The US has not faced something like this. 2008 was bad. It was nothing compared to this. The fact that you stayed in school, you mastered the new technologies, you continued learning, you continued achieving, you went to conferences, you did presentations, you published perspectives. When I look at all, I'm putting together the newsletter.
Wait, no, I want to see who's in it. I'm gonna leave.
The newsletter,
I hope my mic was
the department newsletter might be 50 pages long this time, because I keep compiling all the amazing things the faculty have done, the staff has done, and the students have done. And so I can't tell you how proud I am of the resilience and the courage and the fortitude that each and every one of you has displayed. And I hope, despite the distancing, it has brought us emotionally closer. And even though you all are leaving, some of you are leaving, some of you are staying, I hope you will always think of the history department at Cal State LA as your home, and know that we professors are always there to write letters of recommendation, to hear about your wonderful achievements, to help you in any way that we can. Please, please stay in touch. And now it is my great, great honor to announce the outstanding undergraduate student of the year and the graduate student of the year. And there are so many people who were nominated. And so we had had a very, very hard time deciding on who to give it to. And so for the outstanding graduate student, we awarded to Chris Fennessy. This was the unanimous choice of the department. And I just want to say, that Chris exemplifies what I think is the spirit of our department. He's an excellent student, number one, right? You have to be a scholar in the making. He's a good writer. He's intellectually curious. but the best thing about Chris, that he did so much more with his scholarship, right? So he used every opportunity that we have on campus, and that's the student that we want. And I know many others also did the same thing. Thanks to Dr. Ketia Lee's research presentation workshops, we had a record number of students present, but I think Chris had the most presentations. Chris was at 7 or 8 at various conferences. I'm losing count. Then he was president of Phi Alpha Theta, right? And then you guys don't know this, Chris has been working on the NSS Freshman Fellows. Last year, he helped us pilot the program for the incoming freshmen. He's doing it again this year. And Melania Saldana, who runs it, says, can't we just keep Chris for another year? And so for undergraduates, I think Chris is somebody to aspire to. But frankly, we have many Chris's in the department. And for that, I'm so grateful. So big round of applause for Chris. And we wish you much success with everything you're going to do. I know you're going to do great things in your life. For our undergraduate student of the year, we had many nominations, so many that finally Dr. Choa said, you know what? Why are we trying to pick one? Why don't we give it to as many people as we can, which was an excellent idea. And so I'm going to list the names, and I don't know if, I know Abby's here. I don't know if the others are here. So we have Megan Amaral, Abigail Calderon, Catherine Lanes, and Steve Reyes. Are all 4 of you here? I don't know if all of you are here. Well, a big round of applause for the undergraduates. And you will see from the newsletter that for the first time, we have undergraduate students presenting at conferences, which we really haven't had a lot of. And we are seeing a level of professionalization of our undergraduates. And of course, as you will, most of you know, Abby is off for a PhD program at Yale. We are so incredibly proud of her. But all the remaining 3, they're all bound for graduate school. And I just know you're going to do wonderful things with your life. So I'm so proud of you. And I'm so grateful to you students, right? That this year, many people just crawled under the bed and refused to come out, but you weren't those people. You fought, you were resilient, you kept going to school, you exceeded all our wildest expectations. And it's not just the 5 of you, this is all the history department. So I'm very proud to be associated with you in even a small way. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Flager, for the Monica Taylor Award.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chatterjee. It is my great pleasure and honor to announce to the department community the Monica Taylor Award. And I didn't do what Dr. Stroll has done in the past, which is, do this with great suspension and, describe the person, not use any specific gender-specific pronouns, and then reveal the name. So I'm just not good enough for that. And Dr. Stroll, I think she's here. I hope she's here. I talked to her husband earlier today. I hope she's here. Anyway, so Michaela joined this department last fall in 2020, right? She moved across the country during a pandemic, and she very quickly has become an essential part of her cohort and of the department overall. Michaela has worked tirelessly in the fall as a peer facilitator for History 2010, working with small groups of students via Zoom, to engage them, to facilitate discussion, to help them with writing, to help them with their final project. And she just did a phenomenal job in, helping freshman students succeed. Michaela transferred her Phi Alpha Theta membership from Georgia to Cal State LA, and she has already assumed an important leadership position in being now the social media coordinator. Moreover, Michaela has labored through the tough process of editing and publishing volume 48 of Perspectives as one of the 3 editors-in-chief. And Michaela is very shy in many ways and sort of insecure in that she said, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And well, we knew you could do this. So you did. She has also worked as a student assistant in organizing 4 career workshops featuring 16 of our alumni. Michaela plans to teach history at the high school level, and I cannot wait to invite her back to talk about her work with high school students in a few years. Because of COVID, we've actually never met in person. We've talked on the phone, we've seen each other via Zoom, and I just really look forward to meeting her in person in the fall, going out to lunch to the University Club. And until then, congratulations on the very well-deserved Monica Taylor Award. And it's just a small recognition of your immense talents and really hard work. Congratulations. All right. Now, whoops, that was not what I was supposed to do. So I'm just going to introduce Perspectives Volume 48. Just saying it exists. It's behind me. It's right here. It's real. It's in the mail for many of you. Some of you were able to pick it up on campus, socially distanced and with masks last week. And I would like the editors-in-chief, Michaela Aaron, Chris Fennessy, and Dana Gibson, to talk about what you produced.
Thank you, Dr. Flager. Just as a kind of overview of what Perspectives is and what we've done, Perspectives is a journal hosted every year. This is volume 48 of Perspectives, and this is a history journal where we highlight the research of students here in the department. And so this year, as part of a class that Dr. Flager oversaw and taught, we had our team of about 14 students, both undergraduate and graduate, working together to publish this physical and online journal. Out of 16 great entries that we received from students, we chose 6 that we thought were emblematic of the really rigorous and high-level research that's done here in the department. With 5 graduate students and 1 undergraduate student being featured, and articles covering a huge breadth of different, locations, disciplines, etc. Everything from the ancient Mediterranean to turn of the century American video games are covered in the journal, and looking at things from a number of different methodological perspectives, really highlighting, I think, again, the breadth of the work that's done here, and the high level of it. I think that I'm very excited for people to read the articles that we chose, especially after working with the authors for the last 3 months that we've been doing so. We also, as an editing team, each offered a review of either a book, film, or TV show that deals with history and historical analysis, which we are very proud of as well. And we have a couple other features as well. So I'll leave it to Dana and Michaela to discuss the rest of the journal.
Thank you, Chris. Is it Michaela next, or is it Dana next?
I'm here. I can go.
Hi.
Well, thank you everyone for the congratulations. But yes, my name is Michaela, and I'm one of the co-chief editors. So in this year's volume, we did 2 special features, one quarantine collection and the other history career workshops. And quarantine collection, we know this pandemic is a historical event. So this team reached out to the Cal State LA community, and they collected photographs, they collected reflections, they created memes, social media polls. And I highly encourage everyone to look through this, because I think it offers an intimate look into our students' lives and how they experience COVID-19. And I think it would be amazing to think about how future historians will use these archives and what they will study to figure out COVID-19. And then our second feature is, what can a history degree do for you in the 21st century? I can't talk. The history department hosted 4 career workshops throughout this semester where 16 alumni shared their professional experiences. They talk about archives, museums, community college teaching, high school teaching, libraries, corporations, NGOs, and they shared great insight and experience about how we as undergrads and graduate students can start getting experience now. We can get involved through mentorship, we can get involved internships, volunteering, Phi Alpha Theta, even perspectives. So I encourage everyone to look through these videos. And then also shout out to Perspectives, because we need volume 49. So if you need experience in editing, volume 49 needs people, so go sign up. Dana, I'll let you take over now.
Okay, so yeah, so I had a lot of roles in this volume. I created the cover, as you can see. So the idea came from, like, I was talking to Chris one night. I was like, okay, we need to think of a cover. And I was like, all right, we're on Zoom, we're on computers. So I use elements of an old desktop computer from like the 90s, because, I'm a 90s kid and I like how the retro computers look. And I put like a Zoom screen with like icons of what each article is. So like for my article about Mexican food, I put like a taco. And then for the Cal State LA Diablos, like our mascot before, I put like the little Diablo, and so on and so forth. So I created the cover. Obviously, I was an editor-in-chief and helped out Chris and Michaela with that type of stuff. And as you can see, I put together the website content so y'all can like scroll through it and, find all the articles, find the book reviews and the special features. So yeah, it was a great pleasure creating this.
Thank you, Dana. Yeah, so Dana, of course, did not just double duty. I mean, it was triple duty, and she ran to the print shop to pick up proof copies and all of those, and then distributed them among the other editors in chief, driving all over Kingdom Come. So thank you. Really amazing work. And let's see, do we want Julian Memes now to speak about her experience as an author? Let me figure out how to get back there without messing things up. Okay, are we back to Google Slide? Okay, Julian.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Flager, and thank you, everyone. I apologize if I sound nasal or not that loud. I came down with a cold, so I'm not feeling great, but I'll try my best. Well, I'll talk a little bit about my experience editing. First, I'll back up and say, writing the paper, I wrote it last semester for Dr. Duran's ancient history seminar. So it was kind of in the midst of COVID. And I, was wondering about, the virus and what it was like throughout history for people who experienced, going through a pandemic or a plague. And so that kind of inspired me for the topic of my article, which was pandemics in the Roman Empire. Because I know that this is not a new phenomenon, and sometimes we forget that while we're in things, there's people who may have experienced similar things. So my experience editing my paper was, I will stick to three main things. The first is rewarding. In high school and undergrad, I was never very confident in my writing ability until having this kind of sense of boost in confidence when your article that you submit is actually accepted for publication. That kind of really gave me a boost of confidence and pride in my accomplishments. Because I'm very self-critical, so you never know if what you're producing as a historian is something that's relevant and other people want to read. And I can kind of get a sense of how I progressed as a writer from being a high school student and undergrad to now being a graduate student. So that also is kind of a sense of accomplishment. And the second thing I would say is it's humbling. The paper I submitted for this volume, as I was saying, was written for a previous class and ended up being around maybe 25 pages. So having to edit down my work from 25 to roughly 11 to 12 is definitely an exercise in self-reflection. And I think that's a good thing because I think when you have to go back and look at what you've written or produced and self-reflect on how you came to your point or how you wrote it. You get a sense of, where you are and how, as a writer, you can contribute what you know. So even though I was very happy with how I finished the paper, when I wrote that last sentence, I felt like, oh, okay, I'm done. But however, editing for perspectives, you realize, oh no, your paper is never done. So no matter how great or perfect you or proud you are in what you've written, there's always room for improvement. So I would say that's kind of a great thing to experience, because it shows you like you can always get better, you can always improve, and having having to self-edit yourself is also a chance for self-reflection, and you can see where you can still have grow as a writer. You're never finished working on yourself is basically what I'm trying to say. And the last thing I will say is that the experience is revealing. I went through maybe about 3 rounds of edits, which, thank you to Dana and the rest of the editors for saying, I think there's still room for improvement, which, like I said, is a chance in self-reflection and an invaluable experience. So I went through 3 rounds of edits and I think, okay, now I'm done. I can focus on my other things for the semester. But actually, I found out part of this is self-promotion, because then it's writing the bio about yourself, submitting a picture, which I never think I'm very photogenic, but that's just me, and putting yourself out there so the public gets to know who you are and puts a face to the work you've submitted. And so I've never been very comfortable with self-promotion. I kind of always just want my work ethic to speak for itself. So it was revealing that this was something I needed to do, but also great, because then that's another avenue where I can grow and then take that experience to the future when I'm putting myself out there for a professional career. So I just want to thank Perspectives for accepting my article, for asking me to speak today about what it was like to submit to the journal. I'm honored beyond words. I don't think, I mean, I know I said a lot, but I really don't think there's any words that can express how, I guess, grateful or honored I feel that, someone would want to publish my work. It's everything that, people ask me an opportunity to do. I'm very excited to be a part of. So I just want to say thank you to Perspectives, and thank you to all the professors in the history department. I've learned a great deal from each and every one of you, and I can really see how I've grown, not only as a student, but as a historian, and most especially as a writer. I think I've come leaps and bounds, but I know there's still more for me to do. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Julian, for sharing your experiences. And I'm going to use this as a shameless plug to say, when you're writing a paper or a paper that you've just finished, guess what? Please submit it in December. Of course, they never come in until like 3rd week in January. But if you can send me your papers, I would so appreciate it. The only way this journal can live, can survive, can thrive is by students submitting their work, so the editors can learn what to look for, what not only what's interesting to them, but what has the greatest potential for editing, for publishing. What questions can we ask? What can we learn from this? So please do submit your papers. It's an anonymous process. Only I know the names, and because I forget everything, even I don't remember who wrote them. So please do that. And before we move on, I want to just thank the entire team. Everyone worked really hard. This is not the class that you can miss, as many of you found out, right? This is also not a class that where it's easy, where you can say, oh, this is what I have to do, and then I'm done. No, this is the class that sort of doesn't end. But this time, I think it's ended. I have 250 copies sitting in my office, unless the rats that apparently are in the building eat them. Please come and pick them up in the fall. They're free, they're there. I mailed a few of them out, but there are many more. So please come, stop by, pick up a copy. And I'm hoping that they'll also be available just in the history department office over the summer. So again, thank you all very much for amazing work. I don't know how many times the entire team stayed way past 8:45. I just really appreciate it. Thank you.
And a big shout out to Dr. Flager, right? Who does all the invisible labor in producing perspectives. The students are very lucky.
Thank you. Well, and this also leads to the transition to Phi Alpha Theta. So of course, the journal is produced as part of Phi Alpha Theta. Oftentimes the president or other board members are also part of Perspectives. It sort of happens that way. And we are so fortunate in that we have a really vibrant chapter, and it's vibrant at a time when it's so difficult to do anything. But the current board just did phenomenal work in organizing all kinds of online events, and they seamlessly organized the new leadership for 2021-22. So I welcome everyone, and I'm really excited that to be working with you all and to continue this great tradition. So thank you. And now I'm hoping that Dr. Ochoa will introduce our student commencement speaker, Abigail Calderon Garcia.
Thank you, Dr. Flager. It's great to see everyone here. It's really my pleasure to introduce to you all Abigail Calderon Garcia. Abby, I've known Abby, I guess, for the past 3 years or so. I first met Abby in Dr. Andy's 3800 class when we were able to convince Abby to apply for Mellon Mays fellowship. Abby then, for the past 2 years, has been involved in research and presenting her research in numerous places. Really a kind of a creative and powerfully thoughtful student who's really outstanding paper, Eradicating History or Embracing Change, the debate around the renaming to renaming to Cesar Chavez Avenue in East LA in 1990s is really an exciting scholarship that really, deserves to be published and will be published soon. So again, Abby's really done a wonderful job on campus in her work, and soon will be doing this as well at Yale University. And it's with pleasure that I introduce you all to Abby to give her commencement speech or something along those lines.
Hello. Hi, it's my pleasure to be giving this speech today. First of all, I didn't even know what a commencement speech was, so that was something to start off with. And looking into it, I was really shocked. I was like, damn, I agreed. Because I'm not very good at public speaking. But just to go ahead and start off, it's been a real pleasure to just see everybody here today and be able to interact with everybody. I mean, it's really just hitting me right now that the year's over, right? And like, I'm also graduating. It's been a fantastic 4 years of a lot of different challenges. I came in 2017, and at the start of that, it was really difficult because of the current political climate that was there. And honestly, I, along with a lot of other students that I knew, weren't even sure what the next 4 years held because of the climate and just everything that was going on in the country. And I felt like for the last 4 years, it's been a lot of things, things that I've been compiling, but I think I'm very grateful for having come to this campus, because I don't know what I would have done with everything that happened in these last 4 years, from political, economic, social things that have been going on, if I hadn't had the support from both the faculty and just my peers. When I started out at Cal State LA, like I said, I wasn't too sure about a direction. As a DACA student, frankly, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to continue my education. And for me, having faculty to even just say, hey, you can do this, peers that were behind me, and just always also gave me that moral, confidence, was also amazing. And then following after those first 2 years, coming into being a junior and a senior, doing Mellon Mays and all my research, I don't think I would have been able to do my research without all of the faculty support. I mean, I see so many people here today that had to read through my numerous drafts of my paper, that were really raw at some points, you know, not like to the point where some of it didn't even have footnotes, and I lost my footnotes at some point, and just getting orientation in that sense. I see a lot of people who are my peers and my friends who stayed up with me till like 3 a.m. editing that paper. And that paper ended up becoming my writing sample. And I was able to get into a pretty good program because of it. And honestly, I couldn't have done any of that without everybody. But aside from just like research, I mean, just the amount that I've learned and grown as a person, and I'm sure a lot of you have grown too, because of just, again, the faculty and also the breadth of this department. I mean, I've learned so many things these last 4 years that I never even thought would be of interest to me. Just to give some examples, big history with Dr. Doran. I never thought that, you know, so many years of history could be covered, like the history of the universe and everything. My class about Russia with Dr. Chatterjee, I had no idea, had very little history about Russia as outside of like the Cold War. And just so many other classes that I've taken with amazing faculty, and just speaking to some of my fellow peers, I know that they've enjoyed those classes too. And like I said, these last 4 years have been absolutely transformative. And now going on to a different school and a different program, I think that in a way I'm a little scared and I'm a little worried, because, you know, I know this support network isn't going away, but it's going to be a little bit harder not to be able to just go down the hall and ask for help or know everybody in the hallway, but just to have known that, just to have the experience, to have known all of you and have worked with all of you, it's been amazing. And I really wish everyone the best of luck in their endeavors. And I think, you know, this has been amazing, absolutely transformative. And I don't think I would be the person I am today without it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Abigail. Wishing you just the very best. And, you know, we are just a Zoom call or an email away. Awesome. So we, I think we just wanted to invite everyone to, well, to celebrate. And some of you have gotten these emails. Well, those of you who are graduating have received these emails saying, hey, send us a picture. And we are often, especially as historians, I think we're all very reluctant to send pictures, right? It's just, we find this very awkward, and I feel you. I'm with you there. Some of you nevertheless did, and Pedro put together this really wonderful video. So not everyone is going to be on there because, well, not everyone responded to the email, and we know why. But nevertheless, I want to share that video with you to well, to celebrate. And now I need to make sure that it actually works the way I wanted it. Oops. And I'm gonna make this big. And all right, bear with me as I'm hoping that this will work. All right, the question is, can you hear it and see it? Woohoo. All right, thank you. Congratulations to everyone. Can we open the microphones to people who just want to give a shout out to friends, family, just saying hello in chat or live.
Students, would any of you like to speak? Because you hear us talking a lot. Would anyone like to say a few words on this, to me, a very historic occasion?
I would.
Oh, thank you.
I want to congratulate Cyrene on graduating. We've been together since undergrad, and I've seen her, and I've seen her progress, and I've seen how she's grown, and I'm proud of her. That's it.
Thank you, Dana. Anyone else, please?
I just wanted to say it's good to see everybody again.
Thanks, Miguel, for coming.
I just want to say to the seniors, those that are graduating today, I wish you guys the very best of luck. Congratulations to everybody else, especially Dana. Oh, I took several classes. Congratulations to you. And also one of our former alumni students, Jasmine Oriana, just also graduated from USC. So I wanted to also to let everybody else know that she also graduated, and she was also a former student. So congratulations again to everybody else. I wish you guys the very best, and God bless.
Would some faculty like to say something? Last words of wisdom?
Sure, I'll just say it's great having so many of you in class. Really enjoyed getting to know all of you and really excited for what everything holds, and congratulations going forward. So yay.
And as many say, this is not the end. Most think of commencement that way, and graduations, it's really the beginning. It's the start. And so we are pleased to have been a contributor in helping you start a meaningful career and a good life for yourselves. And as historians, of course, you guys have to do the most fundamental thing, and that is, actually, there are a couple of things. That is, keep raising questions. Keep raising questions. That's the source of it all. And have some integrity and honesty in those questions that you raise and where they may lead you when you open up that Pandora's box. Okay. But the best to all of you.
Thank you. Please follow us on social media. That way is an easy way to stay in touch. Patrick, I see you raising your hand.
I'd like to thank all my professors who helped me become a better historian. You all helped me understand what we had to do to learn through the past, and for us to have a better wisdom. And I also like to thank my classmates to get our assignments done and finish through this class, and here we are, graduating. That's all I have to say.
I just want to thank Pedro Escobar for putting together that amazing video. And Pedro, if you're here, can I please request we do this every year going forward? Zoom, no Zoom, pandemic, no pandemic. Wouldn't that be a fantastic record to have? And we'll put it on our history YouTube channel. So thank you, Pedro. And thank you, Melody. You're not here, you're not well today. You guys are just terrific. And thank you to all the faculty of the department. So proud. Students, anybody else? Jump in. This is the time we can't walk over to each other's tables and chat like we used to at the real banquet.
I'd like to thank all the professors.
I would love to say something. I encourage students to keep in touch with us.
Alexia, go.
I'd like to thank all the professors and everybody in the department for a wonderful experience in the MA program. I'm very glad to have been part of this program and had a very just excellent learning experience, and overall enjoyed every class. Thank you.
And I'd also like to just shout out everyone who made this last year, I think, kept the community going. Even as we went online, we had so many online events and office hours and social things and all sorts of things. And just, knowing that there are people who we could still talk about history with and have fun with and talk about things with was great. I know that, Julian's here, Moises, Daniel Reagan, you've all been so great at just being present even when we can't be physically with each other. And that has meant a lot. And I'm just grateful for that, and really looking forward also to and so excited for the next group of leaders in the department, particularly in PAT, but of everything that's coming up in the future.
And I just want to say we're going to have our reading club for the summer. We read War and Peace last summer. Joellen is in charge this year. And if you all want to be part of the reading group, please send her an email. She sent you the name of the book and the list of meetings. Tim, sorry, you were going to say something.
Oh, I just wanted to say to all the students, both master's level and bachelor's level, please remember we actually do like to, the instructors do like to hear from you. It is not the case that we're sort of like, oh God, another email from some student. No, we do like to hear from you. You can email us anytime. You can email us over the summer. You don't have to apologize and say, sorry to bother you over the summer. You don't have to do that. We're happy to hear from you. We're happy to hear from you anytime for the rest of your life, as long as you don't, plagiarize or something. But we're always happy. We're always happy to hear from you. The idea here with a university is that this is a permanent thing. You always have, a place to come back to. We're always happy to talk to you. I think I speak for all of the faculty in saying that.
If I might say one more thing, Professor Duran.
Yeah.
I just wanted to express to Professor Chatterjee, Duran, Burstein, Yiki, and Endy that whatever knowledge I acquire in the future, will be gained through the skills I learned from all of you. I am able to put together everything I learn and kind of find the intersection from time and topic. And it's because of the skills and different disciplines you showed us, whether it's Professor Duran stressing demographics, which I still remember, or Professor Chatterjee teaching us about every step of the Cold War and the polemics therein, or Professor Yeki teaching us about the 1890s to World War I. So I just wanted to express that everything I come across, I put it through your filters.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, Miguel. It's very kind.
Can I also speak too?
Please, Daniel.
Yeah, so I just want to say, it's been challenging but very stimulating experience here being at Cal State LA. And it was well worth the travel and distance of going to Cal State LA, even though I had CSUN, which was closer, but I'm glad I came to Cal State LA. And I just want to thank all the professors who have helped me grow. Dr. Chatterjee, Dr. Flagert, Dr. Mateen, Dr. Duran, hello. And also to say, I'm saying hi to Dr. Yeki as well. I know I haven't met in person, and it's the first time you're probably seeing my face now, so here I am. So I just want to say, and of course, to all the classmates that unfortunately I didn't get an opportunity to see in person, but hopefully, we'll be able to see each other again in person. I'm sure we will. So, so thank you, and thank you very much.
So history department is going to be open starting June 1st. Pedro, Melody, and I are going to be in the office. So come by, say hi. I look forward to meeting all of you.
Dr. Chatterjee?
Yes, Christian.
Can I say something?
Please.
I'd love to give a special shout out to Dr. Lee, Dr. Ochoa, and Dr. Endy. For the three, without the three of them, I feel like I wouldn't have acquired so much knowledge, not only in terms of history, but strategies on how to teach and just how to be a better educator, listener, really all of the qualities that are needed in education. Yeah, without them, I wouldn't have, I guess, gone to where I'm going. Yeah, thank you.
We have many MA students who are going off to do their PhDs this year. You'll see it all in the newsletter. Dr. Flager, can I?
Closing remarks.
Oh, well, closing remarks. I just love you guys. I'm feeling very emotional, even remotely. This has been my home for 27 years, Cal State LA, right? And so I'm just glad we made it through this year, as difficult as it's been. And as Dr. Duran says, this will always be your home too. Know that on the 4th floor of King Hall, a most unlovely building, there is a home for each and every one of us. Even Soviet era brutalist buildings can become a home if you pour enough energy, passion, and devotion into it. So I look forward to seeing you. June 1st, I'll be back in the office. And please don't be a stranger. Please come back. Please continue your connections with us. Have a wonderful evening. Okay.
I'm
Thank you
crying,
all.
actually.
Thank you all.
Thank you for being here.
you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. This is historic cohort, right? Okay. Bye, guys. And don't forget to get in touch with Joel. And whenever I see her, I think of more work that she can do. Maybe that's why she's sick. It's all my fault.
No, it's my pleasure. And I have to give a special shout out to you, Dr. Chatterjee. I think you know what you mean to me and the opportunities you've given me. There's no words. And I wouldn't even be at Cal State if it wasn't for you. I will never forget our meeting for my interview when I was debating between which, MA program to go to. And you're like, come to Cal State LA. We can offer whatever that other school can't offer at, half the cost. And I was sold. And now here I am. And I just have to say, I've enjoyed this so much. I've never, my undergraduate experience at a UC is nothing compared to what I've gotten at Cal State LA. The learning community here is just, there's no words. I mean, the intellectual discussions I've had with each and every classmate, with my professors, like I won't be able to replicate this experience I've had in this department. And it's been a lot of hard work. I won't deny that. I'm exhausted. But I think growth comes from struggle and determination and hard work. And so I don't know where I would be a whole different other person if I hadn't come to Cal State LA. So I can't wait. I'm not graduated yet, but I can't wait to be an alumni. I can't say that about my other school. Like they send me stuff asking for money and I'm like, whatever. But no, Dr. Duran's right. The learning community, the actual, how much time and extra energy everyone gives. I mean, it's irreplaceable. I've never experienced educators and students so dedicated. And I've been teaching in K through 12 for a while now. So, it's just, I'm emotional. I don't know what to say. But yes, I don't mind. Keep throwing it at me. I wish I could clone myself, but that's okay. So thank you so much. I will contact everybody about the book club. We're going to be reading on environmental history, which I think is very important now as we all get back out into the world after being in our bubbles. Please, if you're interested, we're going to be reading Tending the Wild, which is about indigenous cultivation of the land in California by Native Americans. I think it's something we could really, connect to the land with. So if you're interested, please reach out to me via email, and I will be sending out more information soon. So I hope to see everyone there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jolyn.
Like, I will miss War and Peace. That was a unique experience.
Can I say something, Professor Chatterjee?
Please.
Yeah, I saw that most of the people left already, but I didn't know what to say earlier. But I want to thank all you guys. Thank you, all you professors, all my peers for these past 4 years, especially these last 2 years have been extremely difficult for us, especially with COVID, and especially for probably some of us getting our research papers done with the limited resources that we have. At the same time, for your guys' constructive criticisms for our essays and our writings to make us a better student, a better scholar, and for us to keep learning throughout our entire lives as educators or as scholars. I want to thank you guys on. Thank you so much for all the opportunities you guys have given us, and especially me. And also special thanks to Professor Flager. I think I saw Professor Lee leave earlier, and especially Dr. Andy, especially for me working with you as a facilitator in your classes actually helped me gain a lot more experience of the field I'm going into. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Please, Susanna.
I just wanted to thank everyone for being historians. I think history is fascinating. After 22 years, after I got my bachelor, 22 years ago, I'm back to learn more. So living life didn't made me even want to know more about history. And I'm just thankful for all the professors, all the students, for everyone being interested in the most fascinating subject to me, of course. And I'm so glad to be back. Looking forward for another maybe year or two working with you. And just thank you so much for being historians. I adore everyone who is interested in that discipline. So just wanted to shout out, thank you.
Thank you, Susanna. I always tell everyone I teach at the best history department in the United States, and I mean it. And anyone else like to say something?
I will, Dr. Chatterjee. Just a thank you to all the faculty here. I know quite a few of the professors that I've had have already left, but yeah, I've been doing this college thing for 9 years now, and the history department here is the most memorable faculty I have ever had the pleasure of working with. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyler.
Second that too.
It'll be so weird to meet people in person for the first time. Some of you I've known, of course, and some of you I'll be meeting for the first time. Okay, Dr. Flager, since this is your occasion, I will have you officially close it.
Okay. Let's close it. It's water, but cheers anyway. I see some of you with glasses. All right. Thank you. Cheers. Come and see us. Stay in touch. Follow us on social media, and see many of you in the fall. Really looking forward to it. Goodbye.
Congratulations, guys.
Farewell.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good summer, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.